I set my intention with love and light to inspire divine beauty and clear insight, to love ourselves more with a heart so pure while navigating life so that love endures, to shine our light so graciously, authentically, auspiciously. I set this intention, and it shall be as above, so below. It is so. What's up, y'all? Peace, light, and love. Thanks for connecting with me today. I'm Shakesha. This is the Pretty Priestess Podcast, and it is going down in these particular cosmic streets. We got a lot of transits that we are going to be navigating. Portals is opening out here in these streets that's allowing us to move through to live our best lives at this particular point. You know, we just came up off of that 5-5 portal, right? And this is all about us taking action for the things that we want. And with Neptune being in Aries at 0 degrees, this is about you going after your dreams, taking charge and taking the commander seat in your life and making sure that we getting out here getting shit done out here in these particular streets. And with the sun being in Taurus, this is about us examining our values and everything, right? And so this is about examining our values, beauty, love, aesthetics, and all of those things that we love and hold near and dear and true in our heart. Taurus season is definitely bringing us to all of the beauty and the magic that the springtime brings, no doubt about it. So shout out to the Taurus, no doubt about it. And if you don't know Taurus, the energy of Taurus is very grounded, very stable and everything. And Taurus also rules the throat. And so I've been working with doing a lot of throat chakra work and everything, especially that we have this Scorpio moon that's showing up with this Black Moon Lilith, baby. This is a time to make sure that we are calibrating them throat chakras in a way that we can begin communicating in a way that's most effective, because this Scorpio moon and this Lilith moon, this is some energy to navigate. But I promise you, when we get through this on the other side, we're going to come through with some clarity and some proficiency. That's what this shit is all about. Now, if you ain't hip to this particular moon's energy, this is Scorpio energy. And Scorpio energy in astrology, the house is over is the 8th house. This is the house of all things occult, all things taboo. This is about sexual things, right? This is about all exchanges and interactions and everything. This is why sex is on that particular thing, right? This is it holds a lot of the hidden aspects too, right? The parts of ourselves that we tend to hide, let's put it that way, right? So Scorpio is a water energy, right? And water energy, it taps into our emotional state. But Scorpio energy in particular, right, it really exposes us to a lot of those things that we ain't really down to share with other folks, right? Our resentments, our jealousies, and all of that type of shit right there, right? Scorpio energy, right, can definitely dive into that, because Scorpio is in the business of dealing with truth, no doubt about that, right? And so with this particular moon right here, we got it linking up with this Black Moon Lilith, right? And when the Black Moon Lilith comes up in there with that Scorpio, right? Now, Black Moon Lilith is not a planet per se, right? It's a position out there. It's where the moon, where the earth's shadow is darkest from the moon, right? And what that does, it creates an illuminating effect on shadow energy. And so with this particular energy, this is going to be auspicious for us to do that work we call shadow work. Now, we make these mistakes in thinking that this shadow work is all about all about us taking all of the things that we don't like about ourselves and beating the hell out of ourselves with it. But the true purpose of shadow work is to acknowledge the realness that we tend to suppress within ourselves, right? And so this Black Moon Lilith energy, it really helps us to keep it a $150 out here in these streets, allowing us to embrace all of the aspects within ourselves, because we humans at the end of the day, there's light and there's dark in us. There's duality within everything, right? And so this Black Moon Lilith energy, it really encourages us to embrace the darkness that's within us. This is what makes us wear masks, right? So this is why we do this, what we call shadow work and everything. You know, I think I'm gonna do a series on that because I had put together a presentation where I'm going to deal with that at another time and everything. But I think I may want to do that a little sooner than later, especially with this particular energy that we're going to be navigating with this Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio full moon linking up together and everything. See, when we have not really acknowledged that darkness within us, right? This is when we wear masks and we appear fake. You know what I'm saying? Because we suppress our authentic feelings and everything, right? And what we believe is a more acceptable version of ourselves and everything, right? And so we have to really begin doing that internal work. This doesn't mean that you're not loving on yourself. This is how you love yourself, right? Because not doing the work has us putting on this fake smile, swallowing our true feelings and everything, because it's this unhealed version of us is conditioned to go along, to get along, to pretend, right? And when we hold back, right, when we are pretending that we don't have the resentments, the jealousies, because we know that's a bad look and everything, right? We put this mask on and we pretend like it's all good and we feel in this way, but then we do a lot of passive aggressive things. It starts showing up on our behavior and how we treat people and how we interact and everything, right? And so it's imperative that we confront that so that we can be aware of it. See, merely bringing a lot of these things to our awareness, right, gives us this opportunity to check in with the reality of where we're at, right? And kind of, if we need to make the adjustment, or hell, fuck, embrace what that is, right? Because it is what it is, baby. Let's not be ashamed of who we are, right? And so this is a powerful time for us to really begin tapping into that auspicious energy and everything. Now, if you don't know, I got a tool that's really going to help us in navigating this particular energy, right? Now, it's Taurus season. Taurus rules that throat, but I got a little something a little different for us to tap with on this right here. Hold up. Let me pull her around up. This right here is the sapphire quartz, or eye of protection, right? Now, this right here, let me see if I can get this on. Let me big that up, no doubt. All right. This is a pendant right here that really promotes the clarity and focus. It facilitates clear, heartfelt, authentic communication. It helps in increasing the intuition. All of the clairs get increased with that, right? Now, listen, we got this, and this one right here is surrounded. This is a quartz, clear quartz, I believe that is. Okay, that's the clear quartz right there. I don't know why I thought that was white and blue sapphire, but no, that's the clear quartz. Okay, so the clear quartz that's being around it, of course, we know that the quartz is amplifier of energy and everything, and so that's going to really help to put an auspicious bow on that particular situation. No doubt about that, right? But see, the thing with these eye pendants and everything, a lot of folks, they wear these for protection and whatnot, and that's a beautiful thing because we definitely need protection. We don't know what in the hell folks is thinking about out here in these streets, no matter how high we vibrating out here, right? Because we know that even when we're in the highest vibration and we're at our most magnetic, we attracting all types of shit out here in these particular streets. And so it's going to be in our best interest to really begin practicing that spiritual hygiene. It's not about us vibrating low. We got this ebb and we got this flow within our lives. Like one day we having a good day, the next day not so much, right? And so these are some things that we can put in place to help in protecting and sealing our energetic field when we go through all of the ebb and flows in life. And so these stones right here is going to help us in communicating proficiently so that we can really get to the heart of the matter. You see, this Scorpio moon, when folks is showing up, especially when it's linking up with this Black Moon Lilith, you have to understand that there's going to be a lot of resentments that's going to be displayed, right? A lot of people's true feelings is going to be showing up. And so this is going to be an auspicious time for us to be able to, especially if these is people that are close to you and you really want to make sure that you are getting clarity in that relationship, in that connection and everything, so that you can move forward, new, healed, and renewed, right? You can hit that reset button. You can recalibrate that whole particular situation. Well, this is really going to help you to be able to express your emotions authentically and everything. See, and I like dealing with that sapphire, right? Because see, that sapphire, it brings that intelligence to it, right? Now, we know that the sapphire, it works with the throat and the third eye chakra, right? Because this is that deep blue, You understand what I'm talking? But that deep blue, it really helps to connect with that intuitive capacity and everything, right? But that deep blue, it really helps us to be able to have these conversations with a lot more emotional intelligence. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't think of that shit for a second there for a minute. But anyway, that's exactly what it helps us with and everything. And then the other stone that you know what I'm saying, the 18 just showed me is that aquamarine as well. That aquamarine is really going to help us in being able to gain that emotional stability along with that emotional intelligence piece. It's going to help us to do that heartfelt communication and everything while we navigate in these cosmic waves out here at this particular time. And so with this particular energy that we're dealing with, this is going to be an auspicious tool that's not only going to make you look your most fly, but it's also going to help in protecting your energetic field and support you in being able to communicate effectively and most auspiciously. I'm liking this so much. So shout out to Taurus season and rocking the planets that's helping us in our journey. Okay, so let me move the hell on. And then the other thing that came through. So now I'm sitting up here chilling. Now, if you don't, this had to be the craziest shit. Now, I knew that I had to deal with this particular energy right here. Now, the cat came through. Now, the cat showed up in my damn window. What in the Sam Hill? But this is really good about this particular time of year as well, right? See, when that cat shows up, the cat is reminding you about claiming your independence out here in these particular streets, right? See, a lot of times, and these are the things that we're going to be running in, especially with this Black Moon Lilith, is where we're dealing with dynamics and everything. Self-sufficiency, trusting in your ability to achieve, right? This is a time for us to begin listening to our intuitions. These ancestors is communicating. If you don't know how magical these cats are, man, I have had so many profound discussions about people who had their ancestors transition, and right before the transition point, the cat shows up, giving them all of this extra love, all of this support, and energetically feeling like the energy of the ancestors that just made their transition. And this is because the cats will allow the ancestors to take on their spirits before they cross over into the other end. And so the cat is a most magical individual. And when he shows up reminding you that there are magical times that's going on out here in these particular streets, he's reminding you to pay attention to the signs and the symbols. Keep your head on a swivel out here in these particular streets. And whatever in the Sam Hill, what have you, people, places, things, situations, whatever you have released that's not working for your highest and greatest good, it will be replaced with something that's more in alignment for you, my love. That's what that cat came to show up to let me know. And now I knew that it was about letting you know as well. So when we doing all of this work, you need to understand, because this Scorpio moon, not only is this a powerful, powerful moon, this is a good moon for us to begin working on what we need to be releasing out here in these streets, especially in the emotional realm, right? Because we know everything's cyclical on this planet. Everything runs in cycles, no doubt about it. And so if you don't ascend, you know you're repeating, right? Because everything cycles. We talking about seasons. We talking about zodiac. We talking about the moon, the calendar, the finances. It's all about that golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, right? That's the pattern that's here on our planet. And so it's important that we make sure that we're checking in internally, right? Moving forward. So hold on, let me see. What am I talking about now? Hold up. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you when you need to call on this cat. You know, I'm getting all. See, this is what happens. You get a little bit older, your mind start to give you a little bit of gaps. But anyway, y'all hang in there with me. Your girl getting it together, no doubt. Should have brought me some water up here. My mouth dry. Anyway, this is when you want to call on the cat. When you need to untangle yourself from somebody's life, you know, sometimes we try all ourselves trying to help folks out and find out we knee deep in some foolishness and some fuckery, right? And so this cat shows up to let you know it's time to unfuck yourself. Or if you feel pressured to go along, to get along, but your gut is telling you maybe not, that cat is coming through to make sure that you trust in yourself, right? And this is also a cat that comes in to let you know when you've been doing too much and it's time to have yourself a good time and quit taking life so seriously and everything. And so that cat will show up letting you know to get out and play and have yourself a good time out here in these particular streets. So we definitely want to make sure that we shouting out that cat, no doubt about it, who came through in the most auspicious way to tap us on our shoulder and remind us that we came here for some other. Huh? I'm liking that a whole lot. And so with that cat coming through here, bringing that independent energy, right? This is really going to help us in being able to stand firm in our values. And right now, when we got that sun, it's illuminating Taurus right now, and Taurus deals with our values and everything. It's a powerful time for us to really begin standing in our truth. And guess what? That's what Black Moon Lilith is in the business of helping you do when you tapping into this particular energy. So let's talk about Black Moon Lilith. Let me add my little Prezi to the stage. No doubt? Yeah. All right. So who is Lilith? See, we need to check in on that, right? See, when I was in church, I was told that Lilith was Adam's first wife and she was a demon and it was negativity, right? That's what I was told. But Lilith has been both revered and feared. The goddess Lilith has been long associated more with the shadowy aspects of spirituality, dealing with that shadow work, right? The most powerful woman, she's a most powerful woman, and she was greatly misunderstood. But people consider her as an idol, and because she did a lot of pushback against a lot of the patriarchy and everything. And so a lot of the women in the feminism movement, right, they really rock with this Lilith energy and everything. And I rock with that Lilith energy and everything. And while I may not totally be in agreement with everything that the feminism movement is about, I'm definitely in support of them sisters doing their thing. And so this is an auspicious tap right here for the Lilith energy, to help you in really being in that energy where you're pushing against that patriarch, stepping into your power and living your truth. No doubt about it. So Lilith, her name comes from the Hebrew word Layla, which means light. Now, her symbols include a lot of little spooky totems, all the shit that I like: serpents, screeching owls, the dark crescent moon, and shit like that. I like it a whole lot. So these is all her symbols and everything. And so Black Moon Lilith is definitely in alignment with me. Now, she was the first wife of Adam. That was in the Jewish scriptures, right? Lilith refused to submit to sexual domination and fled to Eden to mate with the angel of death, giving birth to hundreds of demon babies a day. Now, Lilith said she ain't want to be on bottom when they doing there. Adam said he want to be on top. And so they arguing over that. Instead of taking turns, this is what they do, right? And so she linked up with the angel of death, had a whole bunch of babies. So Adam asked God to bring Lilith back. But she said she wasn't coming back, right? And so God created him a new woman, said, I got something better for you. And so he created a docile Eve as her new mate. So somebody that wasn't going to give him all of the static that Lilith was giving him, all of the damn headache and pushback and everything, right? She ain't going to challenge the authority. She going to go along and get along. So then Lilith became ostracized and banished because she wasn't trying to comply. So let's move on. So as punishment, God told the angels to kill all of Lilith's children every day. And this is where Lilith became feared as somebody who would steal your children because hers was being murdered. And the word lullaby, this was evolved from the Hebrew Lilith goodbye, right? As a way of warding Lilith off because they believed that Lilith was responsible for the crib deaths. Now, archetypally, Eve represents the patriarch, right? The more acceptable version of womanhood, right? This is where she closely associated with that Venusian vibration. We like that, no doubt, right? But Lilith, she represents the primal, the instinctual feminine, right? That puts her needs first and seeks approval from no one. This is what I'm talking about. And this right here, it really does give us a really nice demonstration of the whole the Taurus Scorpio spectrum of energy. And so this is what makes it so powerful in working with. So Lilith, Hold up. Had to stretch my leg out. My goodness, man. Goodness, help me, Lord. All right. So there are 4 astrological points, right? They're representing the different aspects of Lilith's dual role of both devouring mother and the enlightened goddess, right? The most talked about is the dark moon Lilith, right? This is an alignment position rather than really like a physical planet because it indicates the point where the moon's orbit is the furthest from the earth. All right. All right, all right. And shout out to whoever this was who put this little meme together. I put that on here because I thought that this right here was very helpful in being able to really get an auspicious tap into the Lilith energy. Gives you some fun facts and all of that. And so, yeah, definitely do some research and dive a little deeper into this Black Moon Lilith energy because I promise you, you will tap into a whole nother level of authenticity. And we about to get this business right here, no doubt. See, because Lilith is your shadow self, your repressed desires and your shame. And for your soul's purpose, it represents the deep shadow that must be healed and brought to life in order to live in the full embodiment of who you are. Now, this right now is an auspicious time because see what we're doing, we got a lot of change going on in the planet. And I know I keep going on and on about this Neptune in Aries at 0 degrees. But listen, fam, this is a 165-year new cycle. So linking with this particular energy, I love the way that the divine sets us up for the win. Has us in the business of being successful in this thing that we call ascension. Oh, we go get this work whether we like it or not. You understand what I'm saying? And so right now, this is an auspicious time for us to begin doing that thing that we call shadow work, right? Because this is really not about us getting into this space where we go look at all of the negativity that's within us and everything, right? This is more about us moving more into an authentic space. So we ain't laughing when it ain't funny, right? We ain't going along to get along. We ain't finding ourselves in situations where we're wearing a mask. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with facing the truths of who you are because we're humans. This is human nature that's within us, right? And so the human nature has good days, it has bad days. The duality is real out here, family. And when we start becoming really aware and at peace with that, right? This is when we can work with this energy in a way that's really going to be effective because when you know yourself, you go navigate these streets with a lot more proficiency because you know what's triggering you, you know what's setting you off, and you know how to address yourself as you move forward. And so this shadow work right here is so essential because it allows us to operate from a healed space that will give us the compassion to be able to help in making the world a better place. Now, when we go on to the social scene, we ain't here for a lot of the mean-spirited shit, the oppressive policies, the other dynamics that are toxic. I talked last week, couple weeks ago about that toxic masculinity energy, right? That toxic masculinity, it's an energy, right? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but about principalities, right? Spiritual wickedness in all places. They say in high places, I say in all places, fam. For real, right? And we got to recognize what's real. You know what I'm saying? And so when doing that, we really know that this is a thing that we're doing in order for us to move into this authentic space. We really have to be in a place where we're embracing ourselves entirely. Good days, bad days, right? Resentments, jealousies, all of those things, our fears, our doubts, our insecurities and everything, right? We loving all of ourselves. We loving the whole of ourselves. We are accepting ourselves. We're showing love to ourselves at the end of the day. This is where you give yourself that true love. This is that love walk right there because it's easy to love yourself on a good day. Can you love yourself on a bad day when you feeling some type of way? Let's say you got a coworker that took your promotion from you and you're the one who put the work in, right? You know what I'm saying? See, this is where this work is coming in, you know what I'm saying, and really helping us to really be able to navigate that, right? Because see, there was a time in my life and some shit like that happened to me. I'm up there pretending with a fake ass smile on my face. Well, congratulations, and I'm feeling some type of way and resentful, right? But I don't want nobody to know that I'm feeling that type of way because it's not a good look, right? But see, now today, the healed version of me would have definitely had to speak up and say something. Now, it's not about tapping in and being resentful with my coworker for getting the win, no doubt about that, right? But it's really about like checking in with the higher ups and everything and letting them know about the contributions that you've been making, if there's some opportunities that's available, and really just getting to the business of asking the question of why you were even passed up for the position, right? Because they may have some points, like there might be some things that you need to work out, some adjustments that may need to be made. Are you brave enough to hear that shit, right? But then on the other end, it may be time to go because this is a place that ain't offering no opportunities for advancement, especially not for you. You understand? So this is an opportunity for us to be so in tune and connected to our star player that we love ourselves, that we are aware of ourselves and everything, and we're not wearing any mask. And so we can freely and openly navigate situations that may be perceived as darkness, right? With light and proficiency, no doubt. I'm liking it. So let's talk about this Lilith and Aries, right? When you got Lilith and Aries and everything, this is a placement that craves that expression. It's a match that makes a strong identity and asks to explore how your personal passion fuels your instincts, right? See, this Aries Lilith is encouraged to unleash your fierce independence and pioneering spirit. Be bold and embrace your warrior heart. I'm loving that so much. And then I'm talking about like the spectrum, because what I've been doing, I'm tapping into the Aries Libra spectrum of that particular energy and everything. And so I'm going to talk about all of the ideas that I came with. And I just started, you know what I'm saying, as I was sitting back and everything. And I said, well, let me just sit with these energies on the spectrum and see like what ideas come through and everything. And so I got that business too. Hold on, I gotta find that. Well, I wrote a list somewhere. Here it is. Here it is. Got it right here. I got it. I got that shit. All right. I almost thought I didn't. I was gonna channel that off of my head. 18 was gonna come through. We know that. All right. Now, when you got that Lilith in Taurus, right? This Lilith in Taurus is related to your self-worth and values. This placement wants you to own your power without relying on others. Shout out to the cat. Shout out to the cat. The Taurus Lilith wants you to relish in the sensuality of life and value beauty and pleasure and authenticity. No doubt about it. So definitely value that. I like that. You know, this whole cipher right here on this podcast is about that whole Venusian vibration, no doubt. So the Lilith and Gemini and everything, right? Here, this is where Lilith wants to create a healthy dynamic with receiving and giving information. It's important to learn wisdom for yourself. The Gemini Lilith is asking that you trust in your curiosity, communicate fearlessly, and let your voice be heard. So this is energy that I'm working on the Gemini Sag spectrum and everything. And that was an auspicious tap. And I'm liking that. I think I'm going to be playing with that tomorrow a little bit. Yeah, I like it. All right. Anyway, the Lilith in Cancer. Emotions and home life may be where Lilith in Cancer reveals her raw side the most. Do 100 babies a day might be out of the question. That might be, you know. But the relationship to the family may also be a catalyst for expressing the harnessing of the goddess's power. Cancer Lilith asks that you honor your emotional depth and your nurturing nature, love fiercely and protect your authentic self. These is all auspicious things to do, especially during this particular Scorpio moon that's going to be illuminating this Black Moon Lilith placement as well. All right. And then when you got Lilith in Leo, now this is a placement that might manifest more through private, sexual, and creative outlets of self-expression, right? This is asking that you take pride in many artistic potential moves through you. So the Leo Lilith is asking that you shine your light brightly, embracing your creative power and letting your inner royalty reign. Let's get that work, Lilith Leo. I like it a lot. All right. Lilith in Virgo. This placement can be a sense of duty or responsibility that takes over Lilith's needs. Now, I got to tell you, that cat is on point with this particular energies. Like for all of these, that cat's energy is just like bling, bling. You understand? Anyway, pay attention to where you may be afraid to leave Eden because of an agreement. Now, your Virgo Lilith, right? Now, this is about making sure that you ain't trapping yourself into some madness that you don't want to be in, right? So that Virgo Lilith is asking that you embrace your keen perception and wisdom and find grace in your authenticity. I'm liking this a whole lot because Virgos don't miss shit when they pay. Wait, when you got Virgo on your prominent Virgo placements, very observant. And if you do have these prominent Virgo placements and you don't find yourself as being observant, know that this is an energy that you can tap into. So set the intention because you're wired this way. All right, Lilith in Libra. There can be a tendency to project Lilith qualities on the others with this placement. And it's important to reclaim her so that she doesn't show up through external domination. So you don't want to have, friend that's treating you like you ain't shit at the end of the day, boss talking you and all of this foolishness. You got to watch and check in for that. So because this is a moon that's going to expose some shit like that. You understand? Anyway, Libra Lilith, balance your relationships while staying true to yourself. Celebrate the beauty within and around you. Let's get this work, Lilith and Libra. We ain't doing that shit. We here to speak truth to power. Okay? Okay. All right. Now, Lilith and Scorpio. Woo! This is where Lilith is at right the hell now. And here, Lilith becomes a powerhouse for personal transformation and awakens depth through intimacy. The Scorpio Lilith is asked to dive into your transformative power and celebrate your profound resilience and strength. See, now I'm liking this. This is the Taurus Scorpio energy spectrum, and we go definitely get this work. Just real quick. All right. So the Lilith is Sagittarius. Now, the aspects of Lilith may consciously or unconsciously be a guiding force for ideals or religion. Now, here, Lilith leads with her heart and seeks the truth. Above all else, you can utilize this placement to be guided by instinctive wisdom. This is a powerful placement. So the Sagittarius Lilith placement is to seek truth through adventure and exploration and let your spirit roam free. I'm liking that. Let's get it. Okay. All right. Lilith and Capricorn. Come on now. Let's do this. With this placement, Lilith might be reflected in how you're seen publicly, but not how you feel internally. Claim your natural self-authority and allow it to inform your own version of feminine legacy. Get this work. Come on now. You know what I have noticed too is that folks that got a lot of heavy Capricorn energy are definitely concerned with how the fuck they are perceived in these particular streets. Let's get this tap right here, Caps. All right. Now, Capricorn Lilith, channel your ambition and your authority into authentic endeavors, right? Stand firmly in your power. Come on, Cap. Let's do this. Let's do it. All right. Lilith in Aquarius, let's do this. Now, as Lilith nears your natal placement, you may feel called to bring more Lilith into the modern consciousness. Your ability to tap into the collective means that you're able to help create a future vision of how this goddess serves the whole. Now, this right here, I'm going to tell you another thing. There's a correlation here in this particular energy I'm feeling with Pluto in Aquarius, right? See, the Aquarius Lilith is asking you to innovate and defy convention, embrace your unique perspective, and inspire others. This is Pluto in Aquarius energy. I'm liking this a whole lot. Let's get this work, y'all. Let's get this work. This is an auspicious tap. Now, especially when we diving into this authentic piece, man, what? Stop playing. We gonna get this work. See, because this is when we showing up unapologetically, unashamed. We ain't playing games out here in this particular streets. We gonna get shit right and we gonna do it our way. Heard? Right. All right. Now, Lilith and Pisces, in this placement of spirituality and unity, Lilith craves the connection to the whole. Now, gifts of this Lilith position include opening up to visionary abilities and intuition. Okay, I'm liking Lilith Pisces. Pisces Lilith, navigate the depths of your intuition and your creativity. Dream limitlessly and express your soulful wisdom. Let's do it. You called to get this work, family. You definitely called to get this work. So I'm liking that a whole lot. So let's talk about this because we're going to wrap this up. I just had to make sure that I ran through all of the Lilith placements before we got in there because this is an auspicious time for us to really get into alignment with some real authenticity. We're not out here wearing a mask and playing a game and pretending that we're someone that we're not, right? We're embracing ourselves, the light side, the dark side, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, and everything. We're doing the self-love thing in a big, in a powerful way, right? This ain't condemning ourselves. This ain't beating ourselves up. This is loving ourselves by facing that truth, by embracing our truth. I'm liking this. And by understanding your Black Moon Lilith placement, you can pinpoint the parts of yourself that feel shunned, that feel neglected and righteously angry. Along with self-awareness and constructive outlets for expression, Lilith can help you access your potency, your instincts, and your autonomy. Remember, embracing your Black Moon Lilith placement is about recognizing your inner desires and truths. It's a journey of self-acceptance and empowerment. That's what this work is about, baby. That's what this Black Moon Lilith energy is tapping into. That's what this shadow shit's all about. We gonna get this work out here. This Scorpio moon is bringing it, baby. We doing it. Yes, Lord, yes. All right, now let me move this from up out of here. We getting this particular business, no doubt about it and everything. And then I wanted to talk about, because we in this 9-year, no doubt, right? And so the goddess Moja DG came through. And I thought to myself, well, maybe not. And I said, well, let me make sure that this ain't for me. And let me get one for the collective, right? And so I told the AT, give me the collective's message. And guess who came back through and said, I ain't playing with you. Moja DG came through. Now, when she come through, this is making rain energy, baby. This is about your manifestation. This is a portal that's opened up right now for you to get this money, baby. Get this money, get this success, get this work, make it happen, make shit come true for yourself. I'm loving this particular energy. When this goddess comes through, she is encouraging you to be about the business of whatever in the hell it is that you about, baby. Don't be out here playing and bullshitting and everything. Oh, it ain't the right time. You know, Donald Trump said so and so and so. Elon Musk is encouraging this. Maybe we should wait until next week. I'm going to encourage you to not. I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and get consistent and make it rain out here in these streets, because this particular goddess, when she come through, this goddess right here ain't playing games with you. She coming through to let you know shit's about to happen for you. You got to be about the business of making that shit happen. So this is about you tapping into that inner wisdom, right? Being consistent, having the integrity to keep your shit on point so that you can make things happen for yourself. This is about getting in divine alignment, baby. And I'm loving this so much. Hold on, let me turn this fan on. It's hot in here, you know. I don't know. It might just be me. Sometimes I'm hot all by myself. And I notice that I'm sitting in the room and I'm just busting out in the damn sweat. And I'm just looking around like nobody's sweating but me. But this is what it is. This is what happens when you transition into that crone phase, baby. Shit happens like that. But it is activating me, y'all, in some ways that I just can't even fucking explain. Anyway, I'm going to get the hell up out of here because it's time for me to go. It is definitely time for me to go. But I wanted to, hold up, there was something else that I wanted to, oh yeah. This was my divine chant for the day too. Aham Prima. Where am I going? Hold up. Aham Prima. And what that means is I am love. I am Prima is love. And chanting that right there, baby, this is going to help to give you an auspicious tap into that love frequency, raising your frequency up, allowing you to be in authentic space of showing love in your own true, unique way. This is what you're doing out here in these streets. And we ain't giving a damn if people were saying, you know what, that don't look like the teaching on how it's supposed to go. We ain't doing the teaching. We doing things in a new way. This is a new time, a new era and everything. And so this is a time for us to really begin embracing ourselves. We are love. This is our natural essence. This is who we truly are in heart. We are love. We are love. We are love. And let's heal out here in these streets so that we can be about the business of getting that love out here in these streets. So now I'm hoping that helped you out. I want to send you so much love, so much light, peace and light, peace and love.